And then the other one is how do you search for leads? And there's a couple of just basic tips that we use all the time. So look for industry bodies online, and we'll talk about verticals in a second. But this is something that I really encourage businesses to look at is if you're look at your business, look at who you engage. And what you'll generally find is there'll be pockets of, accountants or lawyers or engineers or whatever it is. So look, if you're doing that by either accident or on purpose, then looking to build that out. Talk to those industry bodies. Look at those for lists that you can call and explain what you're doing for them and how you can help them as well. Really basic. If you go into a building, take a photo of the directory, right? And then use that again from that referral. So you've got a person in that building. Hi, I'm just giving you a quick call. We look after so-and-so. They think we're awesome. Thought I'd mention it to you as well. This is one that we used to do all the time, which is if you've got guys on the road, right? You've got engineers on the road for delivering stuff. We gamified it. We'd have a bit of fun. So, the engineers or the reps or whoever it was, they'd take a photo of a business that's similar to a business we're dealing with and then throw it into the group chat. And you might want to give people a referral for that, right? You might give them a bottle of wine or a voucher if that comes through to fruition. But it also builds camaraderie and a bit of teamwork, right? Everyone's pinging each other with pictures of different businesses, and that feeds through to your hunters. And then one that I absolutely love, and I'll bring you in, Dan, about this, about verticals. So two things that I love. One of them is dealing with verticals. Because if you fix one business's problem, chances are that vertical's going to have the same problems. Dan, do you do a bit of work around verticals? How does that work for you guys?
Yeah, well, the client that I mentioned earlier, that works in disability, disabled or support for disabled people, and they needed to be accessible and mobile in times of disaster. That was a really clear and obvious vertical for us to pursue. So we've brought on 3 in total now, I think, in the support workers type verticals. So we didn't just limit it to people with disability, expanded that out to support workers. So we actually have 2 with disability, but then there's another for troubled youth or domestic violence. You can go that way. They're the same thing. They are the organisations that need to be accessible in times of disaster. It's really important. Like you said, they're having the same problems. So you already know the solution.
And it's really good because generally what happens is, if you think about it, if you're in, you're in managed services, you probably know all the other managed services in town, and you've probably got similar events. That's the same thing with all the other verticals, right? So if you're dealing with, as you said, non-for-profits or whatever, and you say, and again, you've got a formal referral program in place, and they don't mind you using the name, you ring up and go, hey, listen, we deal with this as a business, and we solve, and we'll talk about cold calling, but a very simple script is, we deal with this particular business, a named business that you do. We solve these problems for them, right? This, and this. I would love to come out and talk to you about how we did that for them. That's really engaging now. And I'm going to get to cold calling right next, but there's your script, right? The best cold calling scripts are short, punchy, and then trying to get that appointment. And that's a really good one. It's someone they know, problems they have, you solve them for them. Let's have a quick conversation. And then the other one about Google Maps. I love Google Maps for, so if every now and again one of you guys get a call from one of my people, they probably found you on Google Maps, because it's a great way, right? If you think about how you work, if you're in a city, and again, what you've worked out is we do pretty well with accountants, and just jump on and go accountants Brisbane. And boom, there's a whole calling list, right, of all businesses, and you can go accountants in your suburb, accountants in the suburb beside you, and start spreading out. Because then again, from a conversation, if you then are tying in a vertical that they know, a business they might have heard of, and finally, you're in a suburb close to them, then that really all puts familiarity, which is more likely will give you a chance to have a chat with them.